Well, good evening, all. Ira Epstein, and here we are with your financial market wrap-up. And this wrap-up is for the evening of Tuesday, the 23rd of December, 2025. Wow, pretty soon I'll be saying 2026. It's hard to believe. Getting the rally, the Santa Claus rally in stocks, no question. Yes, you're down a little tonight, but you've been on a tear. The metal markets are in runaway mode. I mean, they just don't back off. I thought silver would be hitting the 70 level. I didn't expect 72 this fast. People that say they did, well, I guess they're better than I am. I didn't see that. And I'm not bearish, obviously, but I didn't see that. I'm looking at most of the foreign currencies. They are rallying still against the dollar, which was down 34 points today. Bonds and notes just sort of drifting around right now. And remember, you don't want to be a hero right now in front of the holiday. You're going to have a half day of trading tomorrow. The stock markets, everything's going to be closed on Thursday, and then the futures reopen on Friday. And some of it in a staggered manner. But it gets back to normal until we do this all again right in front of New Year's, all right? So enjoy, don't not enjoy. And for those of you that have been my subscribers, I think you'd agree it's been a pretty darn good year. And I'm talking to people that are the paid subscribers with specific recommendations in what we did. All right, do you catch every trade? Nobody catches every trade. Can you try? You can try whatever you want, but generally the guys that trade too much get themselves hurt. That's something I've learned over many, many decades of doing this. You pick the shots that you think can win, and you use money control, and away you go. So let's talk a little bit about what we're going to get in the morning. We're going to get the Mortgage Bankers Association. They're going to come out at 6 a.m. with their numbers. The jobless claims will get the most attention. Are they going up, down, sideways? What are they doing? If they come out as expected, it's not a big deal. They'd be up 1,000 at 225. We'll see what continuing claims do. Baker Hughes weekly rig count came out today, up 3. And, you know, you'll probably get in the morning, I'm going to guess we're going to get the EIA number. We had the API numbers today. So let's go to the chart action and see what we have. And as you can see, if the S&P finished here, you're already up 2.37% for the week. You're only halfway in, and that's where you're up, and you're at an all-time high if you were to close here. Let's take a look, if we could, now at the next chart, which is right here. When I put the swing line on, you've got a lower and low, higher high setup in the market. When we take a look at moving averages, you're over the 18, you're over the 100 and the 200. The last rally high had been up to 70.15. We're about 50 points away, so that's a logical target for the market. The Bollinger Band comes in at 69.97, let's call it 75. So that's probably your near-term resistance. Can you just fall back here? Of course you can, but this is the tendency of the market, the time of the tendency for what they call that Santa rally. If it lost this year, it'd be the third year in a row, and I haven't seen that ever happen. So the odds are strong. That's all they are, is odds that the market will try to continue to rally. It's also an overbought market in terms of slow stochastics. I wish it were like this. Then if it were in this manner, I'd be able to say to you, hey, I have a lot more confidence. When we take a look at the Nasdaq, it's the same type of thing. Not completely. Number one, it's trailing. Its most recent high is way up here, back in October, at 26.67 in the March contract. So this has to go quite a ways up in order to get that. I don't think it's going to be able to do it. 1, 2, 3. You can see how the market is playing around with higher lows, higher highs. It's bullish. I think you're going to get some people saying that maybe they buy the market at 25,689 with a 80-point risk down there. Wouldn't surprise me. Looking to see, can they get up to the Bollinger Band? In the Dow, the trend is up. The market has got higher lows, higher highs. A possible target, 49, 139 here. So we'll see if it can get anything like that. In the Russell, You've got the high all the way up here. You're pretty far from it. And in addition, you don't have that ideal pattern. You have a higher high and lower low. Admittedly, the market fell back to the 18-day average, the red line, and held it. In the DAX, I look for this to go higher. I look for emerging markets to go higher. I am still very friendly. I'm going to start covering the emerging markets more in my morning ETF, Spider ETF video, because I think there's a big play there. I think this will be the year where they take off, and I think it's early in their takeoff time. In the March 10-year notes, you can see the trend is still down. The market is respecting the 18-day average of closes right through here. When we come to the 2-year, the market got beaten up over the past 3-4 days and took back some money. That's okay. I still think long-term that'll be an entry area. In the 10-year notes, you can see, dollar index, you've fallen back to the 97.47 potential. In other words, the lower Bollinger Band might be where this market wants to head. And if that happens, maybe you're going up to the 118.66 level in the eurocurrency, as that market's been on a tear. Something else is happening. The 18-day average just got over the 100. So you're getting a crossover that I consider bullish in the market. In the Japanese yen, the bank is threatened. It came out, the finance minister specifically, saying they could have the banks intervene at any time if speculators try to drive down the yen. This is in response to 3 days ago when the yen got down here after the bank actually raised interest rates. Okay, but banks that intervene generally lose. Market sentiment over time is a very powerful influence. Be careful of that. In Bitcoin, as I look at it, today was certainly not a stellar day. The market keeps failing against the 18-day average of closes, the red line that you see right through here. I just don't see a setup that makes any sense to try to be a hero in that market. Not yet. It's got to close over that 18-day average and stay there. On the energy markets, well, you know about Venezuela, and the market is giving yourself a climb. Okay. Do I think it'll last? No. I want to be clear on that. I think that when you get a rally like this off supply that you can make up, it's an emotional thing at this time of the year, not necessarily a real thing. In WTI, it's the same thing. Then we get to the products, and we just had a rally today that got over this high, so you're going to actually end up with higher lows, higher highs, and you lost the bearish embedded reading tonight, not during the day, but tonight. If it stays lost, expect to get back up here to the 228.75, 229 level. In natural gas, same thing. You're losing the embedded reading, so you don't want to be short right here. The short covering can lift these markets a little more than you think, and you want to use yourself and understand the thinness at this time of year, half-day trading, people not paying attention, not the time to be putting new money in at work, time to take some money off the table. Wouldn't surprise me. I'm Ira Epstein. I want to remind you of another thing. And that has to do with you availing yourself of the free offers we have. It could be trials to our Linn Associates research. If you're a grain trader, you're going to love that because they are very big in the grains. I'm the financial guy. Trial to the more research centers. So for those of you that like seasonal charts, we can set you up with a free trial for that. If you sign up for that, our staff will work with you to get that all done. Free courses, charting software, all this there. You'll see as you go through it on the right as to how, and I'm just scrolling right now, showing you how everything works. You just click on, select this offer, and at the end of that, you'll end up putting in your name, your email address. We'll get everything out to you. During the holidays, give us a little bit of time because we have a skeletal staff working over the next 2 days, but we'll be back to normal come Monday. I'm Ira Epstein. I want to wish one and all a very Merry Christmas. I will be back with you on Friday. There will not be any other updates on Monday. You take care and take advantage of these offers. Take care now.